In this video, I want to talk to you about a couple of parameters. One is the side offset parameter, and a corresponding parameter that comes in handy is the end panel thickness. So what if we wanted to draw a bookcase, for example? Relatively straightforward. Let's change a couple parameters here. I'm going to draw it as a base cabinet, and we're going to make it a bit higher. So let's make it like 48 inches tall, but we're only going to go 14 inches deep. So I've got a line 14 inches out here. Let me just draw a quick cabinet, and we're going to make this a left end panel, and this one we shall make a right end. Let's just make it a right end sheet for fun. So a piece of plywood, and so we'll create the cabinet. And I'm going to just do a standard base. I don't want any drawers or anything in there. Obviously no doors. And we'll use 3 shelves and the default shelf hole columns. And it's telling me I attempted to drill a shelf hole in space or over an existing hole. So I think I need to go look at my drilling tab. I'm going to just undo that. Put my right end sheet back there. So let me go here, and we're doing line boring. If I look, my back row reference point for the line boring is off the front edge and 517 millimeters back. That's deeper than our cabinet. You can look at the drilling video if you want some more detail on this, but I'm going to go off the back 37 millimeters. That way, no matter how deep the cabinet is, I'll get a row of shelf pin holes at the front edge, 37 millimeters in, and 37 millimeters in from the back edge. So I shouldn't have a problem drawing it this time. Standard base, 3 shelves, no doors. All right. So there's a basic bookcase, and we notice we've got our shelves, we've got our shelf pin holes, and so on. But if you see here, my stile is lined up flush with my interior cabinet side. Normally I like that, especially if I'm putting drawer slides on or hinges on or so on, because that will allow me not to have to build out for those items. But on a bookcase where this is open, sometimes it can be really hard to line that up perfectly, and since it's always visible, you'll notice it. So what I like to do is I like to put an 1/8 inch overhang of the stile to this cabinet side. So what do I need to do? I need to go into my settings. The first thing I want to look at is on base cabinets, the side setback. So what I want to do is set the side back 1/8 of an inch from the stile edge. So let me redraw that cabinet. So redraw the selected cabinets. No, do not use the stored defaults since I changed something. And if you look here, I do have an offset now. Here's the edge of the stile, and here's the cabinet side. That's 1/8 of an inch. But you can see I got a different problem here. Since my side panel is still 13/16, and I've got an 1 9/16 front stile, that was enough. 3/4 of an inch here, 13/16 here. That added up to 1 9/16. That worked well when this was flush. Does not work so well now. So I either need to make my cabinet side thinner, but then I'd have to get 5/8 plywood, which I can do. I have a setting for that. But the easier thing would be just to make this end panel a 1/8 inch thinner. So I can go back into my settings. Under end panel, there is a setting here for frame thickness. So if it's a frame, I've got a setting, so I'm going to make that 11/16. And I've got the same problem over here with my sheet, but my sheet was only 3/4 of an inch. So now I got to use a 5/8 sheet there. So that could be a problem if I needed to get 5/8 plywood. That would probably be a frame and panel anyways, or another cabinet. So, but for illustration purposes, we'll see what this does for us. So if I redraw this cabinet now, you'll notice that I don't have any overlapping here. I got a funny looking thing here in the corner, but that's not a big deal. I can still miter this corner together, and I get my 1/8 inch overlap, and over here I have a 5/8 piece of plywood, my 3/4 inch interior piece, and I've got an 1/8 inch overhang, which makes for a nice finished look on there. If you build your cabinets not flushed up like this, this is the setting that you would use. You would make your style, because my other choice here is to make the style wider. I could have left that at the full width and just made my style an 1/8 inch wider, but I like the narrower style. So if you build your cabinets with these not flushed up, you would choose the appropriate width of your style and the appropriate thickness of your plywood on the interior, and the setback that you wanted. So it wouldn't be 0, it would be something greater than 0. And that's all there is to using the side offset and the end panel style thickness parameters.